Rebirth Island and Warzone just dropped, and the map is pretty tiny, so you're gonna get into a lot of close quarter engagements, which is why I got for you today the top 5 best SMG setups that you should be using right now. This first weapon is going to be the KSV. I have it as an honorable mention on the list. This is a very underrated SMG. It has a very fast TTK if you can mix in some headshots and a whole lot of mobility. I even see Scump rocking this thing a lot, and so definitely give it a go. That being said, I will be giving you guys an 8 attachment and a 5 attachment build. For me, I prefer the 8 attachment ones just because we can buy the guns off the buy station, and then for my loadout, I'll usually have like overkill. I mean, not overkill. I'll have like battle ready so I can get the UAV utility box, and then I'll just go buy a secondary for an extra 4 grand. You get money pretty fast in this game, but if you do want 5 attachments, I will give you guys that 5 attachment build. So for the SMGs, I noticed the best muzzles typically going to be the compensator. On the ARs, a lot of the time you want to use the ported, but the compensator on here is going to feel very good. There is a decent amount of recoil on the gun, which is one downside, so it is a little bit difficult to rock a suppressor, but if you can, the suppressor will be a little bit better. For me though, I'm going to use that compensator. For the barrel, we got the reinforced barrel, just increase that bullet velocity and the damage range. The SMGs in this game really don't have that much damage range, so this is going to make them a little bit stronger, just make them not feel like they're shooting canned peas. For the underbarrel, we got the Ranger 4. This is going to be very beneficial because it's going to increase that sprinting movement speed. That's going to be helpful because it also helps with your tactical sprint speed. Not as much. Like if we look at the detailed stats, you guys can see that this is going to increase that sprinting speed by about 6%. I believe we get a 4% increase for that tac sprint speed, so you're going to be seeing me rock this on a lot of SMGs. Although if you can't really hit your shots, then I would use the vertical. That adds so much recoil control. For the magazine, so we don't really have to worry about reloading, we got the extended mag 2. Extended mag 1 is okay, but I always like to go in solo quad and like just think I'm like the best, so then I just need a lot of extra ammo, but it does have a con to your ADS, reload quickness, and your sprint to fire speed, so that's entirely up to you. For the rear grip, we have the ergonomic grip. This is going to be the best rear grip for all the SMGs and most of the guns in the game because there's a big delay when you go to slide to fire and dive to fire. This is going to cut that delay in half, and then we also get some more ADS speed. And then for the last attachment, for one of them, we got the stock on here, the no stock. This can increase that movement speed, the hip fire movement speed, and that strafing movement speed. This is helpful if you want to be in the enemy's face, you're hip firing a lot. If I'm staying at a little bit more at range and strafing more so, then I'll use the infiltrator, which the infiltrator I like equally as much. Just the no stock for this gun does feel a little bit better in my opinion. And then just because a lot of the guns lack bullet velocity in this game, which can make it feel like you're getting ghost bullets, the hit registration will be worse. We all know the hit registration is really bad, so I really do like to add the overpressured rounds, which is going to increase that bullet velocity by about 25%. And so now we have hit scan up to about 45-50 meters, which is great for this gun. Now, if you guys want a screenshot of the 5 attachment, of the 8 attachment, there you guys go. I don't like to add an optic, but if you are going to add an optic, use the Kepler Microflex. And then for the 5 attachment build, I will typically just take off, the no stock on there, and then I'll run the Ranger, reinforced compensator, extended mag, and the ergonomic grip. Now, for the first gun on this list, and I'll go over everything a little bit quicker, so I'm not wasting your guys' time. This is going to be the PP919, my favorite gun in the entire game because there's absolutely no recoil to where you can run a suppressor, and there's so much damage range and ammo to where you never really run out of ammo, and you can use it like an AR. This is definitely my favorite gun in the entire game. Suppressor, like I was saying, keeps you off the radar, allows you to be a little bit more stealthy. The compensator will give you more recoil control. For the barrel, we got the reinforced barrel to increase that damage range. The gun is very weak up, past about 15 meters. It still works great, but it's pretty weak. So we got the reinforced so it doesn't get as weak as fast. We got the fast mag on here just to increase the mobility. The mobility on this gun is, I think it has one of the worst out of all the SMGs. So if we add the fast mag, it's going to increase the ADS, that sprint to fire speed, and your reload quickness, but it brings down the ammo count from 65 down to 50. So you might want to not run the fast mag. Sometimes I do find myself not running the fast mag if I'm running out of ammo, like mid, squad wide. For the rear grip though, we got the ergonomic grip. This is just going to, make it so we can do that omnidirectional movement more fluid. You typically want to keep all of these values the same, the ADS, the sprint to fire, and the slide to fire. Keep in mind, your true sprint to fire is going to be your ADS speed, so you're not going to really be able to fire the gun until 185 milliseconds has been up, since you typically don't, fire the gun until you're fully ADS'd. If you're hip firing, that's a different story. So if that is annoying, you could add the quick draw grip, lowering the ADS speed, but then your slide to fire speed's pretty bad, so there's a weird delay, and I don't really like that. For the stock, I do have the no stock since I'm usually in the enemy's face hip firing a lot with this gun because there's so much ammo, so the no stock is going to be very beneficial on there. Then for the fire mods, I was trying to add the rapid fire. Yes, it does lower the damage range and just the overall damage and the bullet velocity of the weapon, but it increases that fire rate by 14%, so you can kill the enemies 14% faster. But I just noticed I was getting a lot of ghost bullets. The game, they just did not feel that good. reload, I added the overpressured rounds, increasing that bullet velocity, bringing it up to about 900 meters per second, and it felt so much better, and I was cross-mapping people. And so even though it kills a little bit slower, I really do like this build, and I think you guys will benefit from it as well. For the 5 attachments though, just take off that fire mod, and then boom, there you guys go. Now for the next gun, this is going to be the JACKAL PDW, the fastest killing SMG in the entire game. Very easy gun to use. You got that no recoil and a lot of mobility. I believe this is what all the professional Warzone players are rocking, and it's actually the rank play meta in multiplayer. So for the muzzle, again, the best muzzle for the SMGs typically is going to be that compensator. If you want to be off the radar, rock the suppressor. The gun is a tiny bit bouncy, and so I don't like the suppressor. I miss some of my shots, so I do a lot better with that compensator. For the barrel, we are going to be, again, using that reinforced barrel, increasing that bullet velocity and that damage range, making the gun feel like you're on that better ping and make the bullets do a little bit more damage. For the underbarrel, again, we got the Ranger foregrip, allowing us to get from point A to point B a little bit quicker. And since we're always sprinting around, this is super helpful. If you are running a suppressor, you might have to add the vertical foregrip though. That's the one downside of that. For the magazine, I like the extended mag too, even though it's lowering our ADS speed, that reload quickness, and that sprint to fire speed. If you don't want those cons, run the extended mag. The only con is that we're going to lose a little bit of our reload quickness, but it's going to increase the ammo count to 40. I just found that I really do need like 50 rounds. Like, it just feels like it takes so many bullets, even though I think the TTK is quicker in this Warzone compared to the last. Anyways though, for the rear grip, we do have the ergonomic grip to increase that ADS dive to fire and that slide to fire speed. I kind of rock the same attachments on all the SMGs. I really like how they kept it very simple this year. And then so, this is going to be the 5 attachment build. Now for the 8 attachment build, obviously you can add an optic on there if you want. That PP919 feels so much better with the iron sights, just so you know. For the stock, we're going to use the infiltrator stock, so you can strafe very quickly. You can use this gun at range, and I do play aggressively with it, but the infiltrator stock just feels amazing on this gun. For the fire mod, we are going to be adding the overpressured rounds. Again, makes the gun feel more responsive. You're going to be able to map people with this build. So there's the 8 attachment build. Now for the next one on this list, this is going to be the Tanto .22. This is like an AR in the body of an SMG. I actually like the iron sights a lot, but we are just using a sight on here just because, might as well. Here's the strafe speed with the infiltrator stock. It's a little bit like too much at times, but then once you're used to it and the enemies are moving and you're getting that rotational aim assist and everything, and you're hitting your shots, then you can really see the benefit of it. It just feels a little bit weird in here. So this gun, as you guys can see, is pretty bouncy, and so you might want to take off that Ranger foregrip for the vertical. It's just like the Ranger is so nice because you move around so much faster, and you feel like you're flying across the field. For the muzzle though, we got the ported compensator. Because this thing fires a little bit slower, it's going to give us a first shot recoil control and a vertical recoil control. Just like, it seems like it recenters a little bit faster and better. If you can't hit your shots ever, try out the compensator. If you still can't hit your shots, then it's probably just the underbarrel. You're going to want to add the vertical foregrip for me though, like the Ranger, with the ported reinforced barrel, making this thing more so feel like an AR, but then still have the mobility of the SMG. Got the Kepler microflex on there. Extended mag 1, we don't really need to add the extended mag 2 because the fire rate's a little bit slower. You're not going to be blowing through ammo. It doesn't take as many bullets to kill the enemy, so extended mag 1 should be perfectly fine. The only con is that you reload a little bit slower. Again, we got the ergonomic rear grip. And then for the stock, I like the infiltrator stock since I do use it at range and I can strafe, making it very hard for the enemies to hit me. Although the heavy stock, you guys should actually, you know what? I'm changing it. Let's do heavy stock. The reason for this is that if you miss any shots, the time to kill drastically goes up because that fire rate's so slow. The gun isn't that forgiving. So if the enemy's shooting at you, your screen is shaking like crazy, you might miss a couple shots, leading to a slow TTK. If we had the heavy stock, this adds a lot of flinch resistance, making it super easy to stay on target. And so I actually really like the heavy. The infiltrator and no stock are still very good. And then for the last one, we have to have the rapid fire. Yes, it lowers the damage and everything on the gun, but I just found that like you really do need to increase that rate of fire just so it's not as detrimental if you miss any bullets, and it makes the gun kill about 18% faster, which is kind of crazy. Again, if the hit registration isn't that good, you can't really hit your shots. You want to rock a suppressor, run the overpressured rounds. Right here would be more of like a balanced build. Oh, here's the screenshot. Sorry, I thought my face cam was gone. But for me, I really do like to have the rapid fire. So if you guys want that screenshot, there you guys go. Hopefully this isn't too confusing. Some people get mad if I give out multiple builds. It's just like, I feel bad if I only give you guys one build because there's so many different very good ones. You know what I mean? This next one is going to be the C9, otherwise known as the MP5. Love this thing. Probably actually is... This is tied with the PP919 as my favorite SMG. There's no recoil and so much mobility on the gun. Feels super good. So for the 8 attachment version, we got the suppressor on there. This gun doesn't have that much recoil, especially with the fire mod that we're adding, so it allows us to rock the suppressor. With the optic, we got the Kepler microflex, reinforced barrel to increase the firepower of the weapon. For the underbarrel, use the Ranger foregrip to allow you to move around the map and still get that recoil control. Extended mag was the extended mag 1 feels so good. extended mag 2, you really do feel the cons of it. But I guess for Warzone, yeah, you typically want to do the extended mag 2. And then one thing that's cool is that the magazines in this game don't lower your sprinting movement speed or your overall movement speed. It just lowers your handling, which you know, it feels a little bit better in this game. And then to bring up that though, we got the ergonomic grip. And then for the stock, again, the infiltrator stock, really nice on this gun. Definitely, it's like a must on this gun. Run the infiltrator. And then just so we can rock a suppressor, I got the recoil springs, although, and the bullet velocity is still 715 meters per second, so it still should feel very good. I don't really like the rapid fire in here. You could add the overpressured rounds, but if you do add the overpressured rounds, there might be a little bit too much recoil, so you might have to add the compensators. So here's a very good you know, a good hit registration 8 attachment build. And then the no recoil one, my favorite, and the one that keeps you off the radar, is going to be this one right here. Now if you want to rock 5 attachments, you're going to want to take off that fire mod, take off the optic, take off that muzzle for the compensator, and then we are gonna I believe take off the take off the compensator. Right here should be perfectly fine if you can't control the gun. There's a very good 5 attachment build. And I do prefer the 8 attachments on there. It feels super good. Now for the last gun on this list, this is going to be the SAUG, a brand new SMG. It isn't statistically the best, but it's super easy to use. So then, you know, you might do a little bit better because it's easy to hit your shots. And sometimes, you know, even though a gun's like statistically worse, if you can get into a flow state faster, that's what's more beneficial. So for the muzzle, we got the compensator, eliminating a lot of that shake on the gun, making the iron sights actually usable. For the barrel, we got the reinforced barrel, increasing that damage range and that ball velocity. And then for the underbarrel, again, the Ranger foregrip. Again, if you want more recoil control, add the vertical foregrip. For the magazine, we got the extended mag 2. This is kind of a must because the gun fires the bullets so fast. For the rear grip, we got the ergonomic grip to make it so you can take advantage of the omnidirectional movement. There's the 5 attachment build. Now, if you want to rock 8 attachments on here, what I would do is increase the overall, you know, bow velocity. Go over here, add the long barrels, so then you have a little bit more range since this gun really doesn't have any range. We're going to be adding the light stock on there just so you can hip fire a lot. The strafing speed's already so good on the gun that you don't really need to make it have a faster strafe speed, although if you want to maximize strafing, add the infiltrator. I just think it's already good enough, so might as well add the light stock. I don't really like the lasers in this game, and then so I'd rather run an optic or an iron sight. Here is the 8 attachment SAUG. Hope you guys enjoy that. Let me know in the comments if you guys do like these builds, which one's your favorite, what's your PR. I'm always curious what you guys are doing on the game, and I hope this video was helpful. If it was, hit that like button. If you want to see more just like it, hit the subscribe button with the noties on, and deuces.